Hi everyone, my name's Will. Today I'll be leading us in an upper body workout, arms race. The goal of this workout is to elevate our heart rates a little bit, work mostly on our arms, our chest, our back, a little bit of core, a little bit of the hip flexors, but the primary focus is going to be up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, elevate our heart rate a little bit, go in a little bit warm. We don't want to go into this cold. So we're just going to do jumping jacks. We can always just do standing jumping jacks too. If we don't want to jump, better for our knees. A little bit less of that. We're going to stick with these. All right, from here, we're going to move into something called a V-step. So what we're going to do is we're going to step out to the right, over to the left, and back. Just like this. Right, left, and back. Right, left, and back. Can't forget to breathe. And while we're doing these, we're going to throw in a bicep curl. So all we're going to do, have our arms like this, lock our elbows, bring our fists up to our chest, up to our shoulder, I mean, just like this. So what this is going to look like here. Let's just kind of get that brain timing thing down. That's the hard part. All right, we're going to stop the V step. We're going to go back into our bicep curls. Just like this from the side, what it should look like. Just like this, you can go one at a time. You can do both. Do 5 more of these. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can do these with weights too. I just don't have any with me, so I'm just going to go free weight. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do some tricep extensions. We're going to go arm above our head, bring our hand behind our head, make a fist, and then extend just like this. Really want to feel this in the back of our arm, behind our bicep. Really focus on tension in that muscle right there. If we want, can only come about halfway back up, or we can go the full way. Remember to breathe through this. So we'll do 5 more of these. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same thing with the other arm. Extend our arm behind our head. Work on pushing that fist up towards the sky. Remembering to breathe. We've got 10 more of these. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going to move from our triceps. We're going to move to our back, our deltoids. So what we're going to do here, we're going to get our arms right below us, make sure they're loose, make a fist. And what we're going to do is we're going to raise them to our sides just like this. So the side, what this will look like. You really want to feel this clenching of your back muscles. We're going to do bend at the hips. So we go down just like this. And all we're going to do is this movement. If you want to make them a little more difficult, don't come down to here. Go from here to about halfway, back up. It's going to be more that isometric, constant tension right here, your back. Do about 5 more of these. 3, 2, and we can always, if you want to make this a little less difficult, nothing wrong with that. We can bend our arms and do this. The more straight your arms are, the harder it's going to be. Find your sweet spot. So if it's about halfway, that's about a quarter. It's all going to do the same thing. So just determining our own difficulty. And so what we're going to do, we're going to kind of stay in that same position. Bend at the hips a little bit. We're going to do this same arms out in front of us, except this time we're just going to bring our arm back like this, almost like we're starting a lawnmower. This is going to work that tricep, back, bicep. Remembering to breathe throughout this whole thing. And if this is too much strain on your back, you can always go more straight up. You can alternate, do both at the same time. But what this should really look like, just like that. Kind of just pulling back. Do about 5 more of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So from here, we're going to move into some lat raises. So this is going to work this shoulder area, not the outer, more of the straight on, just shoulder. So what we're going to do, hands by our side, you make a fist. If you have weights, hold your weights by your side. All we're going to do is we're going to raise our arms to about here, so we're parallel with the floor. We're going to drop them. Same thing applies here. If you want, you can always bend your arms just like this. It's going to do the same thing, same movement. Straight arms, more difficult. Bent arms, a little bit easier. And if you have weights, obviously that'll make it more difficult. So, gonna bend our arms, gonna raise them up. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, bring them up, bring them down about halfway, and then back up. So, don't go back down to that resting position. This is just gonna be a little bit more constant tension. Gotta be a little harder on your muscles. All right, we'll do about 10 more of these. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, from here we're going to go into an RDL. So we're going to transition from our upper body. We're going to go a little bit more into our core back area. So all you're going to do with these, you're going to have your feet a little bit wide apart, about shoulder width, bend at the hips, and then just bring your back up, bring your head up. Remember to look straight ahead the whole time. So what this is going to look like, at the hips, extend that back. So you want to be looking at the floor to start. By the time you come up, you can be looking at the wall or whatever's in front of you. This is really going to work these back muscles, really feel them tighten up as you go on the way up. Feel that tension. These are important not to go too far because that'll hurt our backs. This is just, we just want to do a nice little extension, nothing crazy. You don't want to be going down to the floor and then back up. You want to just be nice and controlled, down and up. All right, so we're going to go from our back to our front. We're going to work on this, our hip flexors. So this is going to be a relatively simple move, but it's going to be really good for our balance. So what we're going to do, we're going to stand just like this, feet shoulder width apart. And all we're going to do is we're going to raise one leg up and then drop it back down. Raise one leg up and then drop it back down. If you want to make this even more challenging, you're going to raise your leg up and then don't drop it to the floor, but drop it about halfway. Come back up. We're just going to stick to this. If you don't go down to the floor, you're just going to be working these muscles over time. So we're going to bring it up, drop to the floor, bring it up, hands by our side. This is good for balance as well. Let's do about 5 more on this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. These are really good for your hip flexors. Do 1. Same thing. Just getting away from the side. Pretty basic. Down to the floor. Back up. Go up to whatever's comfortable. You don't have to go up past your hip, so you can just go up to here. That's easier. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, what we can do, kind of make a circle. Ooh, it's good for your, really good for your balance. Hip flexors, kind of just like, so what we're going to do, bring it up, shift it over, down, back. But, all right, we're going to move from that. What we're going to do now, we're going to go back down to the ground. Let me just get a better angle. We're going to start on our chest, or face down, I guess. And we're going to go, sticking with the core, we're going to do the plank, which is probably the best core exercise you can get. What you're going to do, you're going to just lay face down on the ground. Going to have our elbows underneath our shoulders. We're going to pick up our back off the ground. And we're just going to hold this position, making sure our back is, you can go on the ground too. Nothing wrong with that. Makes it a little bit easier. But what we really want to focus on here is not having our back too high up or too low to the ground. So you want that nice plank, back straight. And we're just going to hold this position. Hold it for about 10 more seconds. Take a rest. We'll go back. So we got about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. For here, it's important to really feel that pressure, tension. You want to hold it here. You don't want to hold it anywhere else in your back, shoulders, arms. All right, we'll do one more of these. So raise up. Remember to breathe throughout. Feel that tension in your core. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going to stay in this position. We're just going to come up onto our knees. We're going to go on all fours. And all we're going to do here, it's called a bird dog. This is going to work our back mainly. So when we're doing this, we're going to be on all fours. We're going to raise one leg and one arm. They're going to be the opposite arm. So if I raise my right arm, I'm going to raise my left leg with it. Just like this. So I see my left leg. Bring them back in, push them back out, just like this. We can switch sides, so what this is going to look like from the side. Really going to feel it in that back area. You can alternate too. So you can go right arm, bring back left arm. Same thing. All right, so from there, we're going to stay on the ground. Sorry, let me just get my camera going. And we're going to go with a push-up. So we're still facing the ground. And how we're going to do a push-up. It's pretty easy, pretty basic. We're going to have our hands about shoulder width apart. You don't want them too high up or too below your body. About shoulder width apart. You're going to kick your feet back behind you, keeping that back nice and straight. And you're just going to drop down to the floor, push back up. We can always go down to our knees. Same thing, same movement. Back up. You want to breathe in on the way down. Breathe out on the way up. And with push-ups, if we want to engage more of our arms, so for our sake, we're going to look at our triceps, the back of our arm. What we're going to do is, so a normal push-up, you got about shoulder width apart. Tricep push-up, you're going to bring your arms a little bit closer together, just like this. So see how they're a little closer. Or you can even think about it, you can do a star. Start with your hands, put your hands down. I'm going to do these on my knees because they're kind of tough. So we got that star. We're going to bring down to the mat, and we're just going to push up. If you really want, you could just do this. Really close together, no star. And you're just going to push up. This is going to work our shoulders too. We'll do about 5 of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going to transition to our other side. Not yet, but how we're going to start with a side plank. So we're not going to go face down to our back immediately. We're going to do a little bit of an intermediate. This is going to work our outer core, our obliques. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to lay normal like this, one leg on top of the other, elbow underneath our shoulder. And what we're going to do, we're going to pick up our body, really feel that tension in this core area. We're just going to hold this position. We can always go down to our knees. It's going to be the same exact result. Muscles worked, I guess you can call it. And all we're going to do is we're just going to hold this. Hold this for about 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go to the other side. So same deal. Shoulder underneath our, elbow underneath our shoulder. Legs straight out. You can put your arm on your legs if you want. And all we're going to do is we're going to push up. Also, if you want to make this a little more difficult, go arm above body. Just a little bit more balance. Kind of a different feel, I guess. And we're just going to hold this here. About 10 more seconds. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so we're going to sit up. Go back into our sit-up position. So, feet kind of in front of us. Back to the ground if we want. And what we're going to do, we're going to start. We're going to do an overhead press. So we're going to work our shoulders. What we're going to do is we're going to put our fists up to about our head. Push up towards the sky. And we're just going to sit here. You can go crisscross, I guess. No difference. And we're just going to really feel it in our shoulder blades. Not our shoulder blades. about this part of the exercise where I stop breathing. So remember to breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. This is really good for our shoulders. It's gonna tear them apart in a good way. All right, so we're already in this position. All we're gonna do, we're gonna go down to the ground. We can go straight leg. We're gonna keep our fists, arms extended out in front of us. We're gonna drop our arms down towards the mat or the floor, whatever, and we're gonna bring them back. These are gonna be work our chest. Shorter arms, gonna make it easier. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit less difficult, but you can go one arm at a time if you want. You can go just alternate. You can go both arms at once. Just like this. Looking good, feeling good. We'll do 5 more of these. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, sticking with this basic general movement, we're going to do the same thing, except this time, not the same thing, I shouldn't say that. We're going to have our fists just like this, just a little bit farther apart, except this time we're going to bend, put our elbows down onto the mat or ground, wherever we are, and we're just going to push up. So it's going to look like a bench press. I call this the baby bench press because we're not actually on a bench. Just because I call it the baby bench press doesn't mean it's easy. Really good for our chest. This is what this is going to look like this from this angle. So I got my hands out. You're just going to push up towards the sky. Nothing crazy. And after this, we'll have hit all of our upper body. We'll transition back down to the core. So what that's going to look like, we're going to stay in this position, sit-up position, I like to call it. And all we're going to do, going to sit up slightly, crunch. We're going to lean forward, tap our right arm on our right foot, tap our left arm on our left foot, and then alternate. This is really good for our core and our outer core, our obliques more specifically. And we're just going to alternate right here. That's the obliques. That's what I'm talking about. Remember to breathe. Do about 5 more on each side. So we got 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. All right. We're going to stay in this position. So all we're going to do is we're going to extend the leg. And we're just going to drop it towards the mat. And then back up. If we want to make this a little bit less difficult, we can bend this leg. Drop it down. This is going to work our hip flexors. So bent leg, drop down towards the mat, back up, towards the mat, and we're going to back up. We'll do about 5 on this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll get this side going. Same deal, bent leg, a little bit less difficult. Also, if you want to make this more difficult, don't touch the ground. Come to about here, back up. So you're not going down to the resting position. So you're always in tension. We'll do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to come back standing, go to more of a cool down. What we're going to do, hold on. We're going to just do some knee taps. So we're going to have our hands about elbow height, I guess. We're going to raise our knees, touch our hands. If you want to make this really cardio at the end, we can go high knees, but it is a cool down, so we'll just stick to the regular. All right, from here, we're just going to do a little bit of conscious breathing. So all we're going to do is going to breathe in, stay in a relaxed position, feed our muscles the oxygen they want. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Do 3 more big breaths. And beautiful. That's it. That's all I got. Hope you felt like you got a nice workout in today. I know I did. So have a nice day.